Evolutionary podcast coming your way, evolution.org 642. Today we got a special episode with EVO Logger LP, also known as Lpinned on the forum. You can look him up, his profile, if you search for it, Lpinned. And he is a very interesting guy from New Zealand. And we're going to talk about his history. We're going to do a nice interview with him. Hopefully those of you out there who may be in a situation he was in can listen to this and know that, look, your best years are ahead of you and you will get through whatever problems you're going through. And life can be tough. There's life, life is ups and downs, whether you're a wild animal, whether you're a stray cat, whether you're a stray dog, whether you're a human being, it doesn't matter. Life is full of ups and downs. And really, at the end of the day, you're gonna get through it. So this is what we're gonna do. So really, we really appreciate you coming on, LP. How you doing this morning?
Yeah, good man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So Mobster, take it away.
As I've said on several recent shows similar to this one today, LP, we can't do these shows without people like yourself coming on and telling your story. Some of these shows are being majorly impactful. And like Steve says, if we only help one person, for the benefit of the listeners, there's going to be some dark shit, but also things that some of you will feel a vibe with in regards to your own lives. And so hopefully some of what comes out today will be helpful. It benefits us. It benefits the community. Having people like yourself coming on will benefit Evolutionary members. And on behalf of myself and Stevesmi, the moderators, the admin, the bosses of the forum, and the other members and listeners of this show, thank you very much for coming on today to tell your story.
You're welcome, fellas.
So let's start first of all with the first relationship story. Well, it's kind of going to go in order and take a look at your log. So it says you train off and on from 15 to 24, nothing structured, but you also were a severe drug and alcohol addict since the age of 18. So maybe start there and talk about meth and spirits, whiskey, bourbon, all this stuff. How did you first get into these addictions? Was it hanging out with the wrong crowd? Was it maybe a sibling that introduced you to this stuff? Was it watching your parents do it? How did you first get into that?
Yeah, so I dropped out of school when I was 15. I was always into cars. So I actually ended up becoming a mechanic. But I worked on custom cars, so I always did performance stuff and making cars fast, making cars look cool, and the sort of people that come with that are generally drug dealers. So first started off all right. I was getting paid money and whatnot, but then it's just slowly turned into getting paid with meth, pretty much. And then I can't smoke meth without drinking alcohol. I get quite bad anxiety. So they sort of went hand in hand. If I smoked, I was drinking, and if I was drinking, I was smoking. And one thing just led to another. It just got worse and worse over time, really.
And when it came to doing that, how much do you think, so you're an auto mechanic, instead of giving you money, they were giving you drugs? Is that the way it was?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Yep.
So hypothetically, if you were
Yes.
getting paid money, how much do you think at that age during that 1 year span were you spending or losing out on by doing the alcohol and the drugs in that 1 year?
Sorry. What was that?
So, like in that 1 year when you were 18 years old, and that first year you started getting into the alcohol and drugs, how much money would you say you lost out on, whether it be doing work for drugs that you would have got paid cash instead, or spending money on alcohol and drugs? How much money in
Oh,
that span? Was it 50,000, 100,000?
yeah, definitely over 50,000. But I started drinking earlier. I started drinking when I was about 15. Meth came a little later when I was better with cars,
Hmm.
and yeah, meth sort of people pay in it because you keep working. You can work for days, you stay up for days, and just keep going and keep going and keep going. So that's why they like to pay in it, I guess.
Gotcha. Mobster?
Mm.
Mobster, do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, I mean, in the valleys of South Wales where I live, Steve, and for that matter, London, if I still lived there, I'm sure in London, especially, I'll probably still be surrounded by people. You and I have talked about family and associates that have used drugs, myself specifically with regards to my brother David with the alcohol and Michael with heroin. And just recent conversations I've had with people, much like LP, some person that was running drugs and whatever else, the lifestyle is fucked up. Let me give you an example, and the money thing, right? Because I
It's
think this is
very, very chaotic. Everything's
sorry.
chaotic.
Let me do the money thing for a second, and I'll just give you an example, okay? The reason why we ask this is because people that don't do crazy amount of drugs, that's the easiest hat or hook, if you like, that they can hang their hat on and say, well, how much? Because they don't get the drug thing, but they get the money thing. And as an example, my brother Michael was, this is way back in the day, so I'm thinking fucking 90s. And he was living in a burnt out car and doing 500 quid a week. So $700-800, Steve, something like that. And I was earning, I'm going to say probably about £200 a week gross. So say $300, maybe less. And my brother was doing twice that on heroin while sleeping in a burnt out car, whereas I was living in a fucking, a flat with bills and food and rent or whatever else. So it's one of those kind of weird situations where you try to get people to get their heads around just the value, just the amount of money that's being spent on stuff. I'll see people, this is how stupid this shit is, Steve. People moan about the cost of shopping and then 50 quid sniffing Coke on a Saturday night. Okay, so you're doing something that's going to last you 5 fucking minutes, 50 quid, versus paying for your shopping for a week, £100. It's just a weird situation, but it's also the person I spoke to recently, the drug runner, is a good example where he was being fined, and I use that word euphemistically, if he wasn't delivering stuff on time or in a particular way or whatever else. So the idea, for example, of LP being paid, and I use that word loosely, in drugs, is again something that we can't because we're outside of that, get our heads around, and we can't sort of whatever. So it's difficult perhaps for us to understand how this shit works, but also, and I'll use this phrase just to finish, how fucking manipulative the cunts that are doing this to you instead of paying you in cash, because they're getting you hooked. Which is that's the fact. Talk a little bit about that, because that's just come to me. How fucking manipulative these cunts are, giving you that instead of actually paying you for shit that you could actually go off and spend and make a nice life out.
Yeah, when you're 18, you don't really think of it like that, because, I mean, once you start on it, the high is intense. Every hit is good and it's enjoyable, and that tapers off very quickly, and you sort of just end up using it to be able to work. Because you don't want to get out of bed unless you've got it to go do go do shit. So that's when the addiction just gets worse and worse. They know that. And then you become a customer. You end up paying them if you're not working, and then you're fucked because you can't do anything without it. Then they've got another customer, and I was spending about 150 to 250 bucks a day just to get high, and then plus the alcohol, and that was probably 50, 60 bucks a day.
It's a really monstrous. One of the things I like to read, Steve, is Sherlock Holmes, and they've got a couple of Sherlock Holmes / Dracula mashups. And this kind of thing is so Dracula-ish in that you're kind of a willing victim that is offering you their blood, and at the same time serving you in some fucking way. And then when you look at this kind of situation, it's okay. So I've got a willing victim who's going to use my product, owe me for using my product, even though I'm paying him in products. Even if he doesn't work for me anymore, I've still got a customer for fucking God knows how long, and fuck his life and fuck what he's doing to him or whatever else. It's again, what do you think it was? Because when we've done the alcohol one, and to some less degree, some of the other narcotic type episodes, and again, this is for the benefit of the listener. There's been anxiety issues that's caused them to take alcohol or drugs. There's been a father's lack of a father's love in one of the episodes, one of the recent one we've done. There's been trauma.
I could.
What do you think it was that made it some? Apart from wanting to quote unquote get high, was there something in your life at that time that made you go
Man.
in that direction, perhaps?
Yeah. Well, fast forward to actually the start of this year. Actually, my mum paid for a private psychiatrist, and which was sort of a dumb test because I was high when I went and did it, and I got diagnosed with ADHD and borderline personality disorder. But then rewind back to the start of my life. I've never had a dad,
Right.
so I never had a fatherly figure. My mum was my mum and my dad, so I respect the fucking shit out of her. My mum's everything to me. But so a story that I don't fucking tell many people because it's been fucking shit for my whole life. Is my dad left my mum when I was 3 or 4, I think, because he was fucking sleeping with another man.
Mm.
And I got told that like when it happened. It was fucking confusing as shit. And as I got a little bit older, I was probably about 10 years old. So there's a fucking lady that lived down our street. She was a hard ass, and she had kids at the school, and she obviously found out my dad was a homo, and she would fucking spit on us, like me and my brothers, and it was fucking it was confusing as shit. Like through my teenage years and there, I can't tell anyone. Like being a dude with a gay dad is just, I don't know. To me, it seemed not all good. So
Yeah, it's
you sort
confusing.
of and people talking about their dads and the shit they do with their
You
dads
wouldn't
and
think people would be so heartless like that in New Zealand because you see New Zealand as a much more progressive country, more modern country. But it just shows you that
yeah.
no matter where you live, you have people like that because it's
There's,
all
Steve,
every
sometimes
night I
there's a
left here,
fucking there's absolutely a fucking predator versus whatever, right? Whether that's a drug dealer or whether it's some cunt trying to make themselves feel better about their shitty life by being shitty on your
Exactly.
fucking life, and that's just
Like what
that's
the
just
fuck?
blatant
Like what the?
bullshit.
That's fucking disgusting. Spitting on
Yeah, of
people.
course it is.
That's like the
If it
that's
was
like the
listen, if it
bottom
was a
of the.
fucking adult, you'd either lay the cunt out or report them to the police or whatever else. The fact that kids can be so
It's the most
fucking
fucking
evil.
disrespectful. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Listen,
that
mate. If
was.
you listen, I could do this shit all day long, right? Walking around. If I wanted to be an absolute, and Steve could do the same. We wanted to be absolute cunts,
Yeah.
just because we got a bit of muscle and a bit of strength. I've said this to him when David Williams came on one of the shows. Being a big, tall cunt with loads of muscle, loads of weight, blah blah blah, I could be a cock of the walk all fucking day, and I could literally go out to people and say, "Look at you, fucking old cunt. Look at you, flag, blah blah blah." Why don't you do that?
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to feel confident about yourself and so on and so forth. So the idea that some fucking little scrubber, I fucking New Zealand scrubber, whatever, way back in the day goes, I'm going to spit on him and I'm going to treat him like a cunt for
Because
something
it's
that's
something
got
my
fuck
dad
all
did,
to do with
like
you. What? It's got nothing to do with you. It's not
No.
your decision. You didn't make your dad go
no,
that way. And I'm also
exactly.
thinking a little bit here, Steve, if you know the history, Lee Priest has talked about his dad being gay. And I think Lee kind of handled it in a different way. And fortunately for him, LP, his granddad was that male role model. His mum's very strong in terms of both physique and
Yeah,
personality. And he
yeah.
didn't let it. But I can understand, mate, honestly. I mean, there's a huge thing here, Steve, as well. And this is again for the benefit of listeners, and I think LP already knows this. Having a yin and yang, a male female, a patriarchal matriarchal relationship has been fundamental in the way that certain people are brought up, and having an unbalanced upbringing. It's not imperfect. There are ways of doing it or whatever else, but it can mean because of the dad fucking off or the mum being a bitch or whatever else, it makes things that much more difficult for a
Unfortunately,
person.
from the
Yeah.
statistics,
Yes.
85%
Yes.
of
Yes.
us have,
Yeah.
unbalanced
Yeah.
childhoods, unfortunately. Now, some are more
Yeah.
extreme and some are less extreme. It just depends. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that is the reality. We're human beings. and human beings are
Yeah.
very complex. So, your dad,
I've
even
did, I've
though,
did,
he was gay, he should have at least still been in your life and not been
Yes,
selfish and
yes,
just
yeah,
abandon you like that.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter
yeah,
if he's
yeah.
gay, straight, whatever. Noah had the
It
same
doesn't matter.
story. Noah's dad
Mm,
wasn't gay. Noah's dad just literally didn't want to have anything to do with him. And that's not
Yeah,
right. So it's just like everybody's going through the situation. So let's move on a little
mm,
bit and talk about your 20s because all this stuff kind of really starts heating up. And it says that you
yes,
bought a house at 27 with your love of your
yep.
life. You hid your drug use from your partner, so you can talk about that a little bit. And you
Hmm.
said that you were functioning, but you rarely slept. So you were able to hide it very well through that. So you can talk about that and talk about that really quick. How were you able to hide it from her? You just wait till she falls asleep, then you go do drugs, or how would that work?
So I was always I'd work all day, and then I'd come home and I'd do what I have to do, like force some food down because you don't want to eat when you're on P. So I'd force down some food and like just chew away at it, and then do what I got to do, hang out with her, and and then sort of I'd go out to the garage, I'd hide out in the garage, I'd be working on projects and whatnot. And then when I know that she would normally go to bed about 9 or 10. I'd make sure I'd go to bed with her. And then sometimes I'd wait for her to go to sleep and I'd just get up. But most of the time I'd fucking lie there and stare at the ceiling just in case I'll get caught. And it made for some very fucking long nights just lying there waiting for 5, 6 in the morning at a decent time to wake up so she wouldn't be suspicious because she knew I dabbled. If, in my late teens, early 20s, she did know I had she just thought I tried it every now and then, but she didn't know I was fucking pretty much constantly on it. But yeah, I was functioning. I was held a decent job, um, and just sort of it just managed to hide it really well. Even hid it from my boss, my family. Um, Yeah, always, like I said, I always had to have some alcohol on me because meth made me really, really anxious. So alcohol would take that away, where I would what I thought was normal would make me feel normal.
And then, the next step after that was the pregnancy issue. So talk about the pregnancy issue that happened.
Yep, yep. Yeah. So so at this point we've been together about 8 years, and we sort of just both clicked at the same time, realizing that she hadn't got pregnant this whole time. So we I went to the doctors and she referred me to the family planning um, clinic, and so my partner got whatever checks they got. I don't remember what she got checked, but obviously I had to do a couple of tests where you have to fucking jizz in a cup and hand it over. There's actually a funny story about that. So they I went and collected the cup, and they said, "Oh, yeah, go home, and then the place where you deliver it's here." But so my house is in.
I was tempted to joke, LP. It was in McDonald's, but obviously it was at the clinic.
No, no, no. How the fuck did you know? So hang on a minute. So I lived in a place called Upper Hutt, and then I had to drop it at a place called Lower Hutt. So when you hand it over, it has to be warm. So it was about half an hour away.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh God, so fuck it. I couldn't do it at home and then to drop it half an hour away. I had to go closer to the place. So yeah,
Overproof.
McDonald's toilet was the chosen spot. It was right next door. So
I go for the other thing to stick in the cup in your pocket to keep it warm. For fuck's sake.
so I did the job, walked next door, handed it over, but that's always awkward too. Like hand it over and like,
Yeah, yeah.
is this enough? Is this enough or and
I
so I
can
handed
do
that
more.
over
Give me
and
20 minutes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the old tricks.
but so yeah, came back. I can't remember if it was the same day or day after or whatnot, but yeah, came back that I've got a severe low count, like five. I got like a 5-10% chance or something of having a kid.
Mm.
Apparently, there was something like they swim backwards or something as well. The swimming wasn't very good, or
Yeah, the
I don't know.
motility. I think the phrase they use is motility, where they're bad swimmers or they're damaged swimmers, or even as you
They're
said, they're
probably
not
just
swimming towards, they're swimming
they're
away.
probably
Yeah,
just twisted up on meth. Probably, I'm not
yeah,
sure, but um, yeah. But that was I was putting that down to because I had an undescended testicle when I was
yeah.
my mum picked it up quite late. Um, which I think I was about 4 or 5. So had to get surgery on that, where they fucking had to cut it out of my groin and then cut my sac open and put it back in there, and which they put that down to it affected it affected in multiple ways, I think. Um, so my whole life, looking back on it, I think I've definitely had low testosterone issues because of that.
So, I mean,
And then
the obvious thing is of course, that you're realizing essentially that you're infertile, and as you say in your log, the long story short, only for the quote unquote partner of that time to tell you that she's pregnant. So obviously, this is
yes.
going to, yeah, go on.
Yeah, so she our whole relationship, she all she wanted to be was a mother,
Yeah,
and so once we figured out that it was a me issue, there was things they could do, like we're going to go for IVF, and but she was impatient. I mean, she was younger than me. She was about 2 or 3 years younger than me. So she was mid-20s. It's still, yeah, immature. Um, and so it was going to cost us $15,000, which we didn't have to go for IVF because I still had a
yeah,
small percent chance of actually happening
yeah,
naturally.
yeah.
So it was going to cost $15,000 because we're still young and whatnot, blah blah blah. But anyway, so we couldn't afford it, and she got real depressed, and I started getting depressed because it was a me issue, and I couldn't make it happen, and it just felt like I had less of a man, and but yeah, 3 months go by. I'm at work, and she goes, "Oh, can you leave work early? I got something to tell you." I was like, "Oh, well, good." I left work a couple of hours earlier or something. Got home, and she had this big spread on the bed of all these baby clothes and shit, and said she's pregnant. And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do work." Boom. Rung everyone, rung my mum, and fucking told everyone,
Yeah.
yeah, it happened, blah blah blah. And so we're in the house. We just bought, and I fucking full stripped this bedroom out, full pink battered it, new jib, plastered it, painted it, did the whole room up, bought all this baby gear, blah blah blah. 8 months go by, and then this fella comes to my work, and he's like, "Bro, there's something you didn't know." And I was like, "What's that?" And he goes, "That baby's not yours." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he gave me a full rundown, and I broke the fuck down badly. And I went back inside to my boss, and he's just like, "Bro, fuck, go home, man. Go, just get out of here." So I drive back home, and hit her up, and she just yeah she broke down. She was honest with me and said, yeah, it was a fucking mate of mine to start with.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
and
that. I mean, this is the thing when we hear these things, mate. When it says a mate, I'm like some fucking mate
yeah,
not doing you a
and
favor. Yeah, so yeah, there's a word.
she fucking lied to me and told me that he didn't want anything to do with it, and pretty much he didn't know and this and that, which I was cooked at this point. I was high as a kite, and getting worse and worse at this point now. And so I fucking believed her, and I was just dumb. And I was like, well, the guy that told me was a mate of his. So, so I should have known at the point that this dude did know, and it did probably want something to do with it. But I was
Yeah,
just so much going on at the fucking time to compute with that. Eh, I thought it was the fucking right thing to do to stick around because with my situation, with not being able to probably get someone pregnant, I was like,
yeah,
fuck it, I'll make it work. And I've already put in all this work. I was dedicated, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll fucking grit my teeth do the best I can. So then went to the birth, fucking gruesome fucking shit, mate. I'll tell you that much. But it was a bad birth because she didn't go into labour. She had to get induced. So I stayed with her. So she got induced on a Monday, and she didn't go into labour until Thursday. I was there with her the whole fucking time, this whole week at the hospital. Honestly, I was sneaking out of the car and having sessions in the car, but that's not the point. But yeah, I was there for the birth. I was the first one to hold her. She had my last name, and it was the most emotional fucking thing I've ever been through. But what
sorry, LP, just to interrupt you for a second. I'm thinking of two things. I'm not going to go too deep on my own fucking situation with the relationship with my own 30-plus-year-old daughter now, which is a much better relationship than I deserve it to be. But the back and forth between me and my then girlfriend and the manipulation and the stuff like that. And at the same time, you're living a double life already. He was living a double life before. This is like the worst kind of fucked up soap opera. And at the same time, and I don't know you well enough to be able to say this properly, and I don't know if Stevesmi will agree with me or not, right? You are trying to do the fucking right thing. You're trying to be you're trying to be a good guy. You're trying to compensate perhaps for your own failings and fuck ups that you've made. You're trying to deal with the shit in your own life that's led you to that place in the first fucking place. So, I mean, and again, you're on here telling your fucking story, dude. So don't let it be said, and I'm sure I can argue for myself that I was a bit of a cunt at the time and didn't always deal with my own shit properly back in those days when it was a bit messed up. It wasn't as bad as this, mate. It was bad enough. It felt bad enough. We were trying to do the right fucking thing. Unfortunately, for me, it's worked out. So, yeah, carry on, fella.
Yeah. Well, fuck. Honestly, I know myself. I got a heart of gold. You know, I'm a fucking decent person, and I honestly did think I was doing the right thing. But looking back, I probably should have had some fucking balls and called it off then. But I don't fucking regret anything. To be honest, I fucking learned a lot.
Yes.
And I don't regret it. But which really fucked me up is so I left the hospital.
Talk about a little bit. Yeah, sorry, go on. But also talk a little bit about your second relationship. Sorry, fella, go on.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But so left the fucking hospital after a week long, and got back and I checked the letterbox as we pulled up the driveway, and there was a court-ordered DNA test from this fucking dude. When this whole time I was thinking, he wasn't anything to do with it, and blah blah blah. And then next minute I've just fucking been to the hospital a week. And this baby's got my last name, and then I'm getting a fucking letter in the letterbox with a court-ordered DNA test. But yeah, long story short, I was the dad for 2 years and did every fucking thing I could, like everything. But so with the courts and everything, it just got too hard for her to try and be with me and try to let him see her and this and that. It all became a bit too much. I think
it's like a huge love triangle between you and your friend.
Oh, Christ, man.
And it involved a baby, and, and you didn't want to put a situation where the baby ended up you got hurt, the friend is a dick, the mom's a dick. At the end of the day, let's not make sure the baby doesn't grow up with the same anger you know what I'm saying?
That's why I didn't fight it. I didn't fight it in that way because
so did they end up getting together? Those two?
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so they ended up getting together,
which probably, whether she's happy or not, I don't give a fuck. But it's probably the best thing for the kid. To be honest, so I didn't fight it.
And okay, so then do you still keep in contact with the kid or no?
I did. So when she moved out, she did actually allow me to like in my lunch breaks and that. Like she didn't want to tell him that she was letting me see her. But at my lunch break and that, she would come and let me see her for an hour or so, and which just started off fine because I was still her dad, she still knew me.
You're the one that spent the first 2 years.
Yeah. So like she would fucking come running at me, waving arms, come running at me all happy. That just slowly fucking got less and less, and it was breaking me. Like I became just the other guy, it's turned 180 and I
You
became the
have
other
to
guy.
protect your mental health. You have to protect
Yeah, I had to,
your
bro. It
psyche,
was
your
fucking.
image, whatever.
So in hindsight, what would you recommend other men do in that situation? Because we see this all the time. If you watch this show in America called Maury, I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I know what it's about you.
Nah,
So
no,
it's Maury.
no.
They bring on people who have babies and they don't know who the father is, and then or they break the news to the guy, the husband. Hey, I slept with 20 guys. I had a gang bang, and you might not be the father. So then they have to bring in 20 guys to test them, and then there's a crowd
True.
there. It's such a fucking trash TV. But anyway, the at the end of the day, there's so many situations where they find out like the husband finds out that's not that it's his friend's kid or that it's some dude, some
Yeah,
firefighter's kid who she banged. And so like in
yeah.
hindsight, what would you recommend other guys in that situation who find out while their girlfriend is pregnant that the baby may not be theirs, and then after the baby's born, they find out it's not theirs? Should
Mm.
they just fucking right
Uh,
away just cut the cord?
fuck, I think it's very situational, man. Like, it depends whether you can suck it up and whether she's worth it or not. I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of hard to tell. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have stuck around, but again, it was an experience for me, and I don't regret it. And I learned fucking a lot, and I learned a lot about a lot of people.
I think here,
Um,
Stephen, here's a problem. And even those shows would be a good example, LP, if you don't mind. And again, I'll use myself as an example. We think we've got our handle on our shit when we were in our 20s. And we've done this on shows, Steve, you and I, where we go, when we're talking about advice with PEDs, we go, we're telling you this as older wankers, 40, 50, 60 years of age, don't do stupid shit in your 20s. But when you're in your 20s, you're allowed to do stupid, you're adults, you're allowed to do stupid shit. And the problem here is, as you said, you've learned loads. You look back and you say, I've learned loads and it's helped me in my life and helped me become the person I am today. And even for you to come on the show and talk about your experience will be helpful, right? I think of
yeah,
the fucking stupid shit I did at that time in terms of my relationship with my daughter's mother and the shit that we went through. Thank fuck it wasn't drug related, but there was plenty of other crap that could have been horrendously messy, which it wasn't, but it could have been, and it nearly was. And think, fuck me, the fucking manipulation that us two did over each other, trying to fuck each other over for fucking point scoring and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
We lack the
mm,
wisdom, we lack the experience, but you've got that wisdom, you've
yeah,
got that
Yeah.
experience. There's
yeah,
even
man.
a value because at least you got to learn for 5 minutes, fella, 2 years, what it was like to be a dad, and you were trying, like we said, with a heart of gold, you were trying your fucking best in a really shitty situation to try and be
Mm,
a good dad. And that's the number one thing I'd want LP to take away from this, no matter what the fuck's happened since
Yeah.
Steve, no matter where the story goes, because it is more positive towards the end of his show today. He was
yeah, yeah.
Let's
trying
let's
his fucking best to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So
move on a little
yeah,
bit.
let's go to the second relationship and let's talk about the second relationship because in this one's an even crazier story. Involves you going into the house and finding your girlfriend banging a drug dealer. So talk about this story.
Yeah.
This is a crazy. So this is something out of like a movie or something. But talk about this story.
So, so this relationship I got in. Well, clearly my drug and alcohol use got really really bad after the kid situation. I ended up in like a detox place and a couple of times and so when I got with her, I was at the height of my drug addiction and I was actually selling a bit. There's lots of fucking stories that come with selling meth. If you want me to get in some of those a bit later, but so she was a meth addict. She was a meth addict too. So so yeah, I was with her about two and a half years. It was just fucking chaotic. The whole fucking time was chaotic. She was like always finding shit on her phone with other dudes, and
Yeah,
I actually got with her when she was with another guy, so that was a fucking red flag.
yeah,
So, but yeah, fast forward. So this was just this year, and started July. Um, so I was already on the bracelet at this point from the first time I went to jail earlier this year. I've pretty much been on the bracelet this whole year, or been in jail or on the bracelet. Um, and so I was, um, so how did this happen? So I actually kicked her out because I was struggling to pay my fucking mortgage because I was paying for mine and hers habits. Um, and so I was weeks and weeks and weeks behind on my mortgage payments, which she was. I don't know whether you guys know what a KiwiSaver is.
No.
It's where money comes out of your benefit or your wages every week to go into like a retirement fund.
Like a
But you
401k,
can
they call it
access
in America, or a
Yeah,
pension or
401k.
something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you can access it if you've got money problems or you want to get your first home or blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
I was struggling. I was $20,000 behind on my mortgage payments, and because she wasn't paying a fucking cent, she was just bludgeoning off me the whole time. She was supposed to get her KiwiSaver out to help me out with the mortgage payment, pay off what I owed because I was fucking feeding the bitch. I was housing her. I was doing everything for her. She wasn't doing a fucking thing, and so she was going to get her KiwiSaver out to help me with my arrears. And she lied to me this one day and said she was going to the bank. And I just didn't believe it because she didn't want me to go with her. So she had to catch the bus up to the bank. And I caught the one after her. I was like, this bitch is up to something. And
Yeah.
caught the one after her, went into the bank. She didn't have a fucking bank appointment. So I knew the house that she would have been at in that town. Went there, sure enough, she was there smoking pee. So I said, pretty much, get fucked. Don't never come back to my house, blah, 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 blah. So I went back home and I just started throwing all of this shit outside, like probably breaking majority of it. But
Yeah.
over the next sort of few days, I sort of calmed down and I was like, oh, stupidly, I was like, come back, we'll try and work some shit out. And then so this night, so I was on the bracelet. I wasn't allowed out past 7 o'clock at night.
Mm.
Um, so this night she was supposed to be coming back to my house to stay, and she did. She came back, but she only came back to get a fucking bag because I was the one that could get the stuff, and so she came back to get something, swearing that she was going to be staying, and then she made this bullshit thing up that she had to go drop her mate off. So it's like, oh, well, fuck, all good. And then it got to about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, where the fuck are you? Like, are you coming back? Yeah, no, I'm coming. Blah blah blah. Just made up all these excuses. So I was like, fuck it. I breached the bracelet and I made my way up to where she was staying, and there was this dude's car fucking out the front that I didn't know him, but I knew the car with the place he was staying. There was not a car there that looked like this. It was some modified car, a drug dealer's looking car, and I was
Yeah.
like, here we fucking go. And so I, I fucking had a knife. I was gonna. The reason I had a knife on me, I was gonna stab his tires out. But I had a can of alcohol in my hand. I had the knife on me, and just emotion took over. Fucking blacked out with emotion. Went up, booted the fucking door, and sure enough, they're fucking on the bed. So they both jump up, and I'm just fucking yelling. I threw the alcohol at her. She got a fucking bruise in her leg. I pulled the knife on him, and one thing led to another.
Did she
I
know
then
that you could show up? This is the weird thing. Why didn't they
nah,
go somewhere else? Why did they think you were working or something?
no, well, because I was on the bracelet, I couldn't leave home. They,
So he can't
they,
Okay.
leave. Yeah, he
So
can't,
they
he's not
so she
supposed to.
basically
That's
took
fine.
that so she took advantage of the fact that you couldn't leave home.
yeah. She wouldn't have thought that I
Who
was
the
I
about
fuck
to
knows?
think, I
go
think,
on.
the,
Yeah.
thing, I think the thing
Unreal.
is there, Steve. You've got to remember we're still talking about two, possibly three people here using drugs, and the logic that alcoholics or addicts or drug users or
Mm.
whatever. I mean, fucking hell, Steve. The logic that some steroid users use, not to be too negative. We can kind of blindfold ourselves, put blinkers on to some of the stupid shit we're doing. And the
Yeah,
idea that he can't leave the house because he's got a bracelet, so you and I can
I
fuck
get
on the
it.
bed, and he won't be leaving the house to come and find us fucking. We'll be fine. Oh, hang on, who's
Yeah,
that knocking at the door? Oh,
not
here
even
he is.
knocking, boosting the
Yeah,
fucking
coming
thing
through
over.
the
But
door. Coming through the
but
door. Ah,
I was actually quite pissed when I booted the door, and she actually fell over coming through the door. It was it was semi embarrassing, but
yeah.
So what ended
It's
up
funny.
so
happening
one day,
there?
We're laughing now because it's fucking like Steve said. It's like some weird fucking soap opera slash Discovery fucking History Channel show or
Well, you
something.
see that in shows
And
all the time or
yeah,
movies. Like the person walks in, they
if we
find
were
their.
if we were watching this, Steve, we'd like, what the fuck's going on here, you mad cunt? But we
It's got to be the
listen to it
most fucking.
because we
And
know
then
it's
and
true.
but if it was a porn, see you break in, then you join in as a threesome. If it was a porn,
Well, you
you
mentioned
see
the
what I'm saying?
gangbang earlier, Steve. I mean, come on. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, look, we're joking because we're trying to make light of a really
Yeah,
serious, fucked up Jesus Christ, what the fuck's going on situation. And I've
yeah,
said as a perversity for me of
It
going,
is.
oh, some stupid shit, but never as stupid as that. Or you listen to other people and you go, why the fuck did you allow that to happen? Because it's a slippery slope. You're doing stupid shit already and letting things get out of control. And then the decision making, like, I know I'm on fucking license. I know I'm on a tag. I know I'm on a brace. But fuck that shit. I'm going to go around and see what's going on because that's more important.
yeah.
And that's the way
Which
that your
again, I
brain's
don't.
working at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Which I don't regret that decision either because I fucking figured out what she's like. It was
Yeah, thank
just
fuck. Yeah.
set in stone. Oh, I wasn't going to go fucking
You'd
years and
rather
years
fucking go
living.
back inside for 6 months or how many months or how many weeks or whatever else
Yeah,
and know what the
exactly.
fucking score is and not be in that shitty situation than
Yeah.
still
I
be
could
in
have.
that
So
shitty
how
situation and not know any different.
I could
so
have
how
still
And
been with her, and
here's the thing, LP, in a perverse way, and I want to drag this out a little bit now, Steve.
Mhm.
This is only this fucking year, listeners. This was earlier this
That's what I was
fucking
gonna
year.
ask. But no, it happened when you were 32. Now you're 35. So it was like 2, 3 years ago, right?
no. This was all this year, bro.
This
This is
this
this
most
year.
recent one is this year, Steve.
Okay, so that's
The
wow.
last one was
This
32.
My goodness.
So
this
listen,
Okay.
this
has
is what
yeah.
I want to ask you, LP, right? So here's the thing, and this is one of those kind of transformative aspects. So again, listener, you've heard some. Come onto the forum, check his log. He lays all this stuff out right at the beginning of his log. There's no hiding this shit. It's in more detail than we're giving you right now. We've only got an hour to do this show. So you can come on and you can check out the rest of this story. The bits we're missing out on, the court dates and the other shit. And fucking hell, if I get time, I'll try and put some of my shit down one day. So
Prison.
here's the thing, right? So here's the thing. This fucking year, you grabbed the ball by the fucking horns, LP. You've literally transformed from this fucked up fucking psycho drug using, fuck the ankle bracelet. What the fuck was I thinking? What fucking whore was I laying in bed fucking with today? Yada, yada, yada. And you are now in the fucking gym. I mean, you've been in prison this year. So talk a little bit about that, but talk about how you've managed to turn your shit around and start on the fucking journey that you started on, dude.
Yeah, well, so after that happened, I was on the bracelet. I didn't cut it off or anything, but it wasn't GPS tracked, so I just didn't go home for a couple of days. I was on the run. There was fucking cops everywhere trying to look for me. I was running up driveways, jumping fences, running from cops, and because I knew I was going to jail. But breaching the bracelet's fucking one thing, but pulling a knife and sconning a bottle at your missus is another thing, and so I knew I was going to jail. But I had to get back to my house because the first time I went to prison, um, in the meth field, people are pieces of shit. So they find you go to jail and they fucking go and ransack your house because they know you're not going to be there. So they're going to take all your fucking shit. So I was like, oh, I know I'm going to jail. I'll try to get back to my house. And listen, I didn't have a fucking car or anything. I had to catch the bus, which is probably safer because they can't find you on the bus. But I managed to get back to my house and put all my valuable shit in the garage, and I screwed the fucking shit out of my garage. Put heaps of big purlin screws in it, locked all my stuff away, organized everything, got people to, I was, telling people I'm going to jail. All my shit is in my garage. If you could get there and pick it up for me, that'd be fucking fantastic. Got organized, and then so 2 days go by, and I was going to go hand myself in. But they ended up finding me, and they fucking got a dog on me and shit, and then ended up going to jail. But you're thrown in jail with all the shit that has happened. You're coming off drugs and alcohol. I ended up getting taken to hospital the first night for alcohol withdrawals. So my blood pressure was 190 over 90 or something. It was sky high. But everything that's going on, you're sort of just thrown in a fucking concrete room and made to deal with it. But I ended up pretty much starving myself in there because I went in weighing 85 or 86. They weigh you when you go there, and then they weigh you when you're on your way out. I don't know really their reasoning, but went in at 85 or 86 kgs, and I came out at 74.
Yeah.
Pretty much starving, but I didn't want to eat their shit food. It was just like white bread sandwiches and like rice bubbles or cornflakes and just like shitty like powdered mashed potato and shit like that, you know. And so I didn't want to eat into it. I'd pull the meat out, I'd eat the meat, um, and the only other protein I could get was the milk. And I just started doing fucking press ups. So many
Yeah.
fucking press ups. I started off only being able to do 20, and I was broken. And just slowly worked up. Ended up towards the end. So I was there for 2.5 months. First started doing press ups in the first week. After the 2.5 months, I was banging out 1,000 through the day. So I'd jump down. Sometimes I'd put my feet up on a couple
Yeah.
of seats. I'd
Yeah.
stack a couple of seats up, put my feet up on it, and I'd just bang out 10 to 15, have a 30-second break,
Can
do
I
another
interrupt you for 1 second, JP? And I just want to. This is something else that's interesting, right? There's sort of a trope, if you like, especially if you're in prison for a long time, with the idea of finding religion. Something we've had in the UK prison, Steve, is that going to the gym or being able to use the gym is almost like a benefit. If you behave yourself, you can use the gym. If you don't behave yourself, you can't use the gym. And the amount of, and especially former drug users as well, JP, I've seen this a lot. When I was living in Gloucester, we'd have guys that would go to the gym, drug using, or just doing stupid shit and being out of shape. Have nothing to fucking to do but go to the gym in prison. Have someone, a cellie, a CO, whatever, take them under the wing, see that there was a good guy inside, let them come to the gym, and it could transform some people. The only issue, and I think you're a good indication of someone who's kept this going, JP, is that when you come out, all those pricks and wankers that you were around with before are still there. So it's very easy to go back to being the person you was before. And the trick, such as it is to continue going to the gym, showing that you can have this structure, and it's a massive distraction, and it helps your mental health and helps you feel good about yourself. So keeping at it, the fact that you've gone from 20 press ups that you could barely fucking do and it nearly killed you to doing 1,000 through the day after 2.5 months, Steve, is fucking unbelievable. And obviously, and I'm saying this again for the benefit of people who don't know JP is, and they can come onto the forums and have a look. The discipline, and as you say here, and I'm going to read this line from your log. When I come out, I was hooked on training and sticking to a keto-based diet, giving me some discipline. You talk about being carnivore, and so on and so forth. So talk a little bit about that. You're coming out the benefits of training in prison and what it's meant to your life, having this kind of thing.
And talk about the
fasting
as well. How'd you learn about the fasting and all
Honestly, it was from not eating in jail. So I didn't actually consider it fasting at that point, but I saw the benefits of it because I just fucking pretty much stopped it. I went a week without eating in jail, not thinking of it as fasting, but I went a week easy. Like it was no issue, and I was losing fat, and because obviously I trained a little bit in my early 20s and that. But I don't know whether it's muscle memory, but even not eating, my muscle was coming back and losing fat at the same time. So I was like, well, fuck it, you don't need to fucking just eat constantly. So it was sort of I stumbled on fasting on accident, really, and then when I got out. I sort of just started researching it more and realized the benefits of it. So I sort of
isn't there also an element of look? Let's talking about the drug thing. People sometimes use the phrase of it's a hunger, but also it's a habit. And eating, and we've just done a show with a fella that weighed 416 pounds this afternoon before you, recording earlier, talking about eating out of habit and not being hungry. There's an element of here when you fast that you are in control of your fucking body. If I don't eat, I ain't gonna fucking eat, and I ain't eating that shit. And then you're going to look in the mirror going, look at that fucking, like, I look fucking amazing. I'm not fucking eating that shit, and I look amazing. So what I mean, you're in control. It's teaching you discipline. It's showing I don't need to do stupid shit because I don't fucking want to do stupid shit. Look at me looking fucking great because I ain't doing stupid shit.
Yeah. And even the other prisoners were watching me doing stupid amounts of press ups, and they were impressed. So I was like, fuck it. So with them being impressed, it sort of kept my motivation up. And then I just got driven, like excessively driven, just all day. There's no gym there because I started off in a medium high security
Yeah.
unit, as you do when you're on remand. So there was no gym, there was no gear. I just stacked a couple of seats up, put my feet up on it, and then just did, yeah, like I said, 10 to 15, 30-second break, 10 to 15, constantly, like constantly.
Mm.
It was a bit psychotic, really, but yeah, if I was only in prison for a month, I probably would have got out and went back to my old way. Prison
Yes.
for the length that I went was a fucking godsend to me. I needed I
Yes.
needed I needed that length of time to
Yeah. To
reset
kind of
myself.
detox and
Yes.
everything.
Yes. Yes.
Because that's
Everything
Yeah,
out
yeah,
your
yeah.
system.
now. Let me
Yes.
ask you this: do you have any urges to drink or do drugs or anything, or are you just
None.
past that?
None.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
fucking
funny. Yeah,
past that.
because I'm the
Fucking
same
yeah.
way. I'm the same way. I haven't drank in like fucking 25 years, and people say, "Oh, how do you not drink for 25 years?" I said, "Because I just don't have any urge to." I don't
Yeah,
have any urge to. Yeah.
I'm so driven on diet and exercise that just doesn't come into the fucking equation
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you, because we're gonna do an addiction podcast coming up with Noah as well, but it
Yeah.
sounds to me like you turned one addiction into another addiction. Now you're
Yeah.
addicted to
Yeah.
fasting
Yep.
and that feeling you
Yep.
get when you're doing a long fast and the
Yeah.
workout, the feeling you
You
get when you're
just
done with a workout, the endorphins.
your skin, like your skin feels good, eh? When you I did a yes, I've done a couple of 36-hour drive fasts where absolutely
Mm.
nothing. And just your skin, like the
Yep.
way you feel, like your skin feels good. Like
It's the
if I,
autophagy effect. It's the autophagy of the cells. And also with addictions, fasting works great because literally fasting will eliminate your addictions because you're literally
yeah,
detoxing and resetting your entire body. So it's funny when you're fasting, because I've done a 19-day fast myself, and you guys can come check out my log. I have a fasting log on the forum, and I have a thing I put out too on my long fast that I do. I did a 14-day fast, a 19-day fast. But while you're fasting, it's weird because you'll go through kind of a recycling of your brain. Your brain will actually be in anti-inflammation to your brain, so your brain will actually, the inflammation in your brain will drop. So it's a beautiful way to really feel you're thinking so differently when you're fasting. My
yeah,
best
yeah, yeah.
writing,
So
I
switched on, eh?
exactly your body because your brain is
Mm.
working on ketones instead of working on glycogen. And many of you out there, 99% of you who've never fasted before, you've never experienced that because you've always been running on glycogen. You wake up in the morning, you have your coffee, boom, there's your caffeine. You have sugar and milk in your coffee, boom, now you have the sugar. So your brain's
I was
always
going to
running
joke.
on
I was going
something.
to joke, Steve, that my belly's rumbled a couple of times. Does that count? But obviously, it fucking doesn't. I've
that
never fasted, guys. So I mean,
that
look.
that goes that goes away.
Yeah. I
It
go
goes
four
away.
hours. I go 4 hours. I go 4 hours and I think I'm fucking starving. Obviously, I
It
don't.
sounds like your strategy, the carnivore and the fasting, is what David
Yes,
Williams
yes. I'm looking at that now, Steve.
exactly has
Yeah,
done. And David Williams is a power lifter who we had on the podcast a while back, and that's literally
yeah.
all he does. He eats meat and he eats like
Yeah,
raw,
me
like almost
sometimes. Yeah.
raw meat, and he fasts. And
Mm,
that
mm.
literally is the
Yeah,
only thing that cured his Crohn's disease. Is
Let
following
me
the
let
strategy.
me
yeah,
again for the benefit of the listeners. When he's not dieting, here's where he is at the minute, right? Because he says here, 3 weeks water fasting every other day. Very consistent with my carnivore diet because that's actually what you say right at the beginning as well. So, for example, not counting calories, but generally speaking, and we actually talk about this quality stuff as well, 10 to 15 pasture raised eggs a day, 500 to 800 grams of rump steak a day, 500 grams of chicken breast a day, and only drink salted water and quality electrolyte drink. I want to be clear as well, because you're talking about TRT and you're also talking about that's after and an upcoming cycle. Are you using testosterone at all right now?
yes, yep.
Okay, so
I'm about
talk a little bit about that and talk about also how you feel when you are on the carnivore diet.
fuck. It's fucking testosterone has made me feel fucking amazing. So I started off. I've only been on it. It's coming up 2 weeks now. So I started off with I only had test E, but Van Life, the good cunt, he sent me a vial of Test P, and so
Right,
I added that in. I added that in about 5 days ago. So I inject every day. So I do. Uh, what do I do? I do zero point 0.1 of a mil of Test E every day, and I do zero point 0.3 of a mil of Test P every day. So I just mix them in
right.
the same syringe, and I just do that.
So what we
Um,
call microdosing, yeah.
yeah, so that ends up being about 475. If I do it exact, it's about 475 milligrams a week.
Hmm.
So I'm on about. So I've been on test E about 2 weeks, but I've just added the test P in about 5 days ago, and fuck, the test P has just made all the fucking difference, man. I feel amazing. Like just go, so at the moment I'm doing about 25 to 30,000 steps a day. I go to the gym first thing in the morning.
Wow.
I'll do my weight training, and then
Yeah.
I'll come back, have a feed, and then I'll go on a fucking 5 to 7K walk. I'll come back, and then I'll have another feed, and then I'll go on another. I'm just time rich at the moment. I've got nothing else to do, so I'm just
Yes, yes,
walking
yes,
like
yes.
I'm like the Pahia tour, which is where I live, fucking Forrest Gump at the moment. But so I do a lot of steps, but it just walking. Like I'm so determined just to get through the fucking walk, like not get through it, but just keep motoring on.
Listen, mate, you're not fucking sitting at home writing a magnum opus, but you are taking some part of that fucking day, you're grabbing it by the bollocks and you're using it in a positive way. Now, whether it's you're out fucking doing steps or going to the gym or fasting, you are literally taking control of what in the past would have been completely fucking wasted time. You'd have fucking ruined it by doing stupid fucking shit. And literally, you are out of your fucking brain, with your head, with your thoughts, doing positive shit. You are walking, you're out
Yeah,
the fresh air, you'll say hello to people. They go, there's that mad
yep.
fucking cunt doing 30,000 steps, but the mad cunt is keeping himself super fit, super in shape. I mean, one of the things that we talk about, not to blow too much smoke up testosterone's ass, but sometimes we talk about PEDs and specifically testosterone and we say, if especially from your background with the drug addiction, with the addictive behavior, the low testosterone, the undescended testicle, etc., it sounds to me, and we use this phrase when we talked about it, is transformative because you go for some people, you feel like fucking Superman, not a high drug like Superman, but just
Yeah, 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 yeah.
a
Confident.
man, fucking yeah, bollocks. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my
like
fucking steps. Yeah,
yeah, your chest out,
like a
motoring
GI
on.
Joe. Yeah, GI fucking
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah,
Come on, let's
yeah.
fucking rock
Which
and roll.
I've fucking never had that before, man. So it's been it's a game changer at the moment. I'm fucking loving it.
So we have a few more minutes left. So really, it's been very fascinating hearing your story. You've been through so much, and I'm just blown away at. I think it's beautiful the way you've changed your life around. So right
Yeah.
now, where you stand, do you find yourself being like, you know what, I want to continue working on myself. I'm not going to involve myself with these bad influences, that have been around me in my past. Is that
Yep,
basically your mentality going forward?
100%. Yeah, I've moved away. Well, because my house is up for sale. I had to having to sell my house because of everything that's happened. Yeah.
Hmm.
The only address I could get to get bail was about 2 hours away from where I actually live. So no one fucking knows where I am. I changed my SIM card. I deleted all social media. I'm just
Yeah.
this is fucking me time. I'm doing me as selfish as it might be. I don't give a fuck.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get me good before I
Yes.
think about any fucking
Exactly.
body else.
I think that's
Yeah,
important. And I've been through that many times myself where I've just been like, I'm going to work on myself. I'm not even going to have a girlfriend. I don't want to involve myself with anybody. It's just going to
Oh yeah,
be,
I've done that.
I'm going to work on myself and improving myself. And then
Yes.
once I get to that point, then I can go and start dating again and start doing.
yeah, bro.
And
I,
the
I used
form,
a
how's
I
the
used a
form?
phrase in a previous relationship, Steve, and the mother of the baby and the woman I was seeing at the time, not obviously at the fucking same time, but was having a conversation, and I said it was like pulling up my mental drawbridge and withdrawing into the fucking castle and just doing my shit the way that I needed to do it. And listen, I think look, LP, you'll come on today's show. You shared your fucking story, and we talked about the previous fella inspiring people with his journey just because he lost over 200 pounds. You could easily still be doing messed up, fucked up shit. and you aren't. And you've already started to fucking improve and change your fucking life. You started in prison, you're still doing it right fucking now. Every single day, you're on a journey to making yourself a better fella than you was yesterday. But what you're also doing, and hopefully this comes across on this show and similar shows that we've done, you by telling your story, by telling your journey, and by showing how you've changed your fucking life for the better. And listen again for the benefit of the listener. Listen to how he sounded when he talked about training. Listen to how he sounded when he started almost joking about doing 1,000 press-ups a day. Listen to how he sounded when he said about how fucking great it feels when he was on testosterone compared to where he was before. And understanding what he was doing before and understanding that it was a mess before and essentially said, fuck that life, it's done. And here I am fucking today, right? You will be helping someone else, hopefully more than one person.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
mate.
how has the forum while we're on the subject? How's Evo helped you keep things going in the right direction? The Evo family.
Van life sounds fucking amazing, by the way.
Oh, Van life's a man. I love that guy. He's fucking. He's a good ass fella. I talk to him every day. Run stuff past him every day. We also got similar fucking stories, drugs and whatnot.
Yeah.
He's fucking cool. But no, it's definitely helps keep me honest, and but it just puts me in a different level of driven. Yeah, it keeps me driven. Keeps me it's good. I'm loving it.
Let me ask you a question before we finish the show. Right, we will say tips or final advice. If you have a 2-minute thing to put your message out into the world for what you can talk. It doesn't matter what it is, but give the listeners something to hang their hat on in terms of either a final advice or a tip or something you do on a daily basis that's helped you turn shit around.
Like number one thing would be to stay off, if you can, stay off shit drugs. They fucking ruin lives. But I mean, if you find yourself on drugs, it's not the end of the fucking world. You can come back from it if you're if you're motivated to. And stay consistent with everything you're trying to do. Just get your nutrition dialed in, stay consistent with training. Even if you're not seeing results, just stay consistent. Consistency is key.
Yes.
Be selfish if you need to.
You was doing 1,000 press-ups a day, but you wasn't doing 1,000 in one go. You was doing a little bit and another little bit and another little bit. And all of those little bits added up to 1,000 press-ups a day. Yes, and so this works with life because whether I read a few pages of a novel or I learn a new word today or I do another couple of 1,000 steps or I just drink one less beer today than I drank yesterday, the little tiny things done regularly, consistently, as you said earlier, is the key. And then, of course, stuff like coming onto the forum and saying, you've also changed your environment, as you said, with the SIM card and the address. You're not in that situation. You're not around those people anymore. And that helps. And having that mental space for you to fucking realize who the fuck you are and don't give a fuck about the shit you've lost because the property things, fuck, get another one. When I turn my life around, I'm going to get a fuck. And like I said, arguably, if you keep this fucking going, dude, you will be putting so much fucking positive energy back out into the fucking world. It will be epic, mate. Honestly, if you can fucking keep doing this every single fucking day.
Are you gonna sell the house and then do a van bum is doing, live in a van, or are you just gonna like go rent?
I'll probably end up.
I'm imagining you sell your house, you're gonna make some cash, right? Because the property values are skyrocketing.
Yeah. Well, I actually, so I bought it about 9 years ago for fucking cheap. I got it for 248,000, and right now it's sitting at around 550. So
nice.
I should be getting a decent sum, but really, I don't even want it. Like, I don't want anything right now. I'm good just doing what I'm doing. Like, there's nothing I want. Honestly, my full attention is just getting me good. Being happy with myself. So
let me ask you one question, LP. If I could say to you, this would be the last question for you. If I could say to you, right, what do you want to be doing in 1 month's time that you're not doing today? And I'm talking about whether it's a gym or diet or whatever else, just one thing. And it's for the benefit of the listener. So I'll set myself targets. Steve sets himself targets. We talked about doing more shows. What's your target for the next fucking 30 days? Fuck Christmas. What's your target with the gym or diet or whatever? Just something to fucking hang your hat on for the next 30 days.
Probably turn the amount that I'm walking into running.
All right.
Yeah, I want to start. Definitely. I mean, I can run. I don't know if I can run a 5K yet, but I'm definitely getting fitter and fitter every day, and I'd love to be able to do maybe a 10K with my brother. My little brother runs quite a bit, so I'd love to be able to do a 10K with him.
The first time I ever went jogging, LP, I ran around the block where my mum still lives now, and I think I was spewing up stuff at the bottom of my lungs from when I was a child. And within a few years, I was working my way up to a 10K. So I go from not being able to run 400 fucking yards to being able to run, and I was fucking 10K, 30,000, 40,000 yards. So yeah, if you do 500 of those steps is a run, and then the next day is 1,000 steps, and the next day you could literally be running. Steve's run 5Ks and done triathlons and stuff. So the idea, you know, I guarantee you that if in a month's time we were to fucking check in with you by the log, by doing another podcast or whatever else, you'll be probably doing a kilometre, and then the next time it'll be a kilometre and a half. So yeah, do a little bit every fucking day, mate. Yeah.
Well, the gym's about K and a half away. I can run that piece of piss. I run to the gym. But 5K,
run back on leg day. That'll fucking train you up. That's the test right there, mate.
You fellas have to get me back on. I've got so many more fucking stories to tell you. Fucking injuries and that's
just make sure. So make sure when you're running, I recommend like try to run on grass as much as you can. I'm sure your brother will show you, but like make sure you get good quality shoes. Those of you out there who want to get into running, that was a mistake I did when I first got into running. I started doing triathlons and stuff, but like stay off the hard surfaces. Really, you know, it gives your legs a beating. So grass, barefoot on grass is the best thing. Find like a soccer field or a football field and just run around there.
Yeah.
And that's a nice soft surface. You don't want to end up getting injured, you know. So, but that's great, man. I'm glad it's so. Come on the forum, guys. Check out Lpinned on the forum. It'll be in the show notes, and follow his journey as he makes a big comeback here. And he's just on the early.
Show him some love, give him some support, and learn how you can turn your life around too, fellas.
And those of you out there that are in his situation right now, just know, look, he came out of it like gangbusters. And you can come out of it like gangbusters. You don't have to be addicted to these harmful craps, you know, the alcohol and the drugs and all that shit. Like I said, I haven't had alcohol in 25 years. I don't even have an urge to touch it. To me, it's just a waste of money and it's trashing my body. I don't have no urge to do it. So get away from the negative influences. Lpinned said it right. Get off the fucking social media. Come on, EVO. We're not social media. We are a community, a family. And we're a supportive family. That's what you need. You have to have a supportive family around you to really encourage you and be a positive role model around you. So Lpinned is doing
every single person that posts on LP's log wants him to succeed. Every single person wants to turn around. And obviously people like Van Life are going the extra fucking way out to sort of be sort of understanding their own shitty situation and help LP to succeed even more than he already has fucking done. I absolutely want to see LP succeed, and I want LP's message out there to the world, as Steve says, to be one of, you do not have to stay in that situation forever. You can change your situation. It starts with you owning your shit. It starts with you getting rid of all the background and the nasty stuff and the negative influences. It might take you fucking going to prison and some of the fucking dramatic shit that LP's had to do with in order to grab yourself.
Yeah, that's the ironic thing. It's something in life. Sometimes bad shit happens to us, and we're like, why is this bad shit happening to us? But in the end, it's a blessing. Like him walking in on his girlfriend banging the drug dealer is a blessing because now he can move on and find someone who's a good person, like someone that I'm with who's a good mind. I would never have that happen to me because the person I'm with is a good person. We treat each other with respect. and we love each other the right way. So that's what you have to have in life. So it's a blessing in disguise. All this bad shit is a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
You just don't know it in that
Yeah.
situation.
He wouldn't have been on today's show,
Yeah.
Steve, if none of that fucking dramatic shit had happened.
Exactly.
And you wouldn't be doing the positive things you're doing right now. You'd just be a normal Joe.
So finish
doing
up,
normal fucking
LP,
shit.
with your final thoughts, because you're gonna need to. It's really early where you're at. I know you need to get going.
Yep.
Finish out with. We'll
Yep.
give you the floor the last couple minutes. Your final thoughts on everything we've talked about. Final thoughts for other people out there who going through what you went through previously.
Yeah, like you fellas just said, you hit the nail on the head there. You can fucking get out of shitty situations, man. Just hold your head high and get rid of the negative shit, man. It's the best thing you can fucking do.
All right, buddy. Excellent. All right, guys. Mobster, finish out the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming on today, LP, and thank you very much for sharing your journey.
Thanks.
Please
thanks
note, sorry for that. Please note, as always, we are not doctors, and opinions on these shows are ours. It is our view, based on our experience and views on the topic. Our podcasts are for informational purposes and entertainment only. The freedom of speech and the First Amendment applies.